Thousands of Australians have been left crippled with pain, and some are wheelchair-bound with a condition called adhesive arachnoiditis as a result of a dye that was injected into their spine before an X-ray. The dye, sold under the brand names Myadil and Pantopake, was used for 42 years between 1944 and 1987. And even though radiologists knew it could cause arachnoiditis, they never warned their patients. Today, we reveal that the nation's medicines watchdog had a chance to stop the import of this dye in the early 1970s, but it failed to get the animal studies that would have shown its toxic effects on humans. This video shows what the X-ray dye does to a styrofoam cup. Remember, when you watch this, that this substance was injected into the spinal canal of X-ray patients.
We wanted to find out just how corrosive Pantopake can be. So we poured some in a plastic cup and waited. As this time-lapse photography shows, it didn't take long for it to start to disintegrate. And within 6 hours, the dye has eaten right through the bottom of the cup.
Derek Morrison is one of the victims of this X-ray dye. He had Myadil injected into his back in 1977. Scans show the myelin sheath around the nerves in Derek's spine had melted and fused. He lost sensation in his legs and nearly died before doctors performed 15 hours of microsurgery to save his life. His doctors prescribed methadone for 27 years to control the pain, and at times it was so bad he was suicidal.
Well, it all started from a personal perspective because of myself being exposed, and then my mother dying because of it. And then I knew there was something wrong, but no one was telling me, so I started to look at it myself, saying, even my family turned their back on me, that no one believed that there was something wrong. And over the time, I started to realise there was something desperately wrong, not just by me, but people who started to hear about me, saying that's me as well.
Derek says doctors, hospitals and pharmaceutical companies have tried to cover up the terrible effects of the dye, and he spent 25 years collecting thousands of departmental FDA and pharmaceutical studies on the dyes.
And from a domestic point of view, this is enormous, but it's even bigger. America should be held accountable, and the FDA needs to be adhered to, of asking why. And we've got, I think, at least 3 to 5 million Americans currently suffering this situation as well.
The victims of this dye are clamouring for justice. They're demanding the health department cover their health and support costs, fund research into the best way to alleviate their pain, and fund a charity to support sufferers.
42 years this chemical has been used on patients for X-rays without the patient's knowledge that it would cause serious harm to them. It causes a condition called adhesive arachnoiditis. Now today it's chemically induced adhesive arachnoiditis. It has a range of conditions that slowly causes paralysis, secondary body function loss, horrendous pain. We didn't smoke and get cancer. We didn't burn out in cars and have a serious accident. We went in for an X-ray, a plain X-ray with an injection of a dye. That today is known. It's not Derek making this up. It is known throughout the medical world that this stuff was too toxic, should never have been marketed, never been licensed, but it has, and now Australians in their hundreds of thousands are hurting, but hurting alone.
The FDA discovered in 1969 that the makers of Pantopake had never submitted a report on adverse reactions in the 25 years it had been on the market, and demanded labelling changes when it found it caused arachnoiditis.
No one took responsibility that this wastewater from film processing from Eastman Kodak with a chemical base of hydrochloric acid, sulfuric acid, benzene, the number one cardiogenic chemical of the world that causes cancers, and 2 other massively toxic chemicals was put in a mix Iodine was added and they injected it into people as young as 6-month-old babies. How does anyone justify using those chemicals and injecting it into people's bodies? There's no answer to that. It should never be marketed.